The NBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is presented by WynnBET. WynnBET is now live in Arizona, Colorado, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Tennessee, and Virginia. From boosted parlays to live in-game odds, WynnBET has what you need. Sign up today and get a $100 bet when you bet $100 at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBET. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET. State restrictions apply. We're also brought to you by our mini helmet contest. The SGP mini helmet is now in stores, and you're giving one away for free. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/helmet. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/helmet. Yes, sir. We are back with another edition of the NBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. You know me, know the voice, know the guy. It's me, really real villain, real Terrell Furman Jr. at your service. And Luka Doncic, round of applause, sir. I'm flabbergasted. It is a Wednesday. You know it's after Christmas, so you be forgetting what day it is. Yeah, it's Wednesday. It's right. Wednesday. It's Wednesday. Got my guy Delonte Smith with me. Delonte, what's going on?
Man, what's up? I would give Luka a round of applause, but I was on your Knicks last night +5. I got the push, but man, it was looking easy. It was looking easy at first. They were dominant. They were dominating that
the
game.
First half with me. My dog yesterday was Knicks first half +142. You wouldn't even had to worry about the rest of the game.
I caught it too late. It had already moved down a little bit. I think it was when I seen it. I was watching the show late, so when I seen it, I think it was only like maybe 115, 120. So, I mean, I still should have played it, but I thought that was a good spot for the Knicks. I did not know about RJ Barrett. Was that like last minute?
So it happened in game. In game, he hurt his finger in game, and he left.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't watch the first quarter of the game. Okay, so yeah, I didn't know about.
Nobody bets RJ Barrett props unless it's an under. So everybody was like, "All right," like nobody was like, "Hey, I need a refund," or can no. It was everybody was like, "Nah, that's cool. We're perfectly fine with that." Everybody was on RJ's under last night.
Yeah, and then Randall foul trouble, but I mean, I thought that they still played well. It's just that Luka was just.
The Knicks had a historic game. They had a historic game where Emmanuel Quickly, he had 14 assists, career high. Quentin Grimes, 33 points, career high. You have a double-double by freaking Julius Randle where he goes for like 29 and 17 or something crazy like that.
In foul trouble.
In foul trouble.
He had 3 fouls in like the first quarter and a half.
So imagine if he plays he still got a bunch of minutes. Like he still got, I think he had like 45 plus minutes in the game still.
Yeah.
So it was absolutely crazy. Luka puts up 60, 21, and 10 in a regular season NBA game.
Unreal.
And they still can't cover 5 points.
Unreal, man.
There's no way. Whenever the Mavericks are a favorite, I'm just going to point back to that game because Luka he's the first person ever to give you 60 and 20. First person ever. Third person ever to give you 50, 20, and 10. So there's no way I'm ever touching the Mavs as a favorite when they get that historic game by Luka and they can't cover a 5-point spread.
Man. I mean, we're gonna make a lot of money in that first round of the playoffs whenever the Mavericks are like a $2, $2.20 favorite, and they're playing, some team. I don't know who they would be playing theoretically, but I'm just going to bet
be anybody because the West is up for grabs.
Yeah, I'm just going to bet whoever.
So it could be anybody.
Yeah, whoever's playing against Mavericks, that's going to be like one of my best plays of the playoffs. Because I mean, they're a little bit fugazi. I mean, it's pretty much Luka or busting. I mean, Luka can get you a game or two, but when things slow down in the playoffs and all those other players don't show up, those other teams, they're going to be ready. So that's going to be something, to hold in your pocket for future reference is fading the Mavs.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes the rest of the season, but they're going to need a lot more contribution from the rest of that unit. It can't be Luka and nobody else because you're not covering a number like this. They are one of the worst teams to the number in the NBA. So. All right, let's go ahead and get into today's slate. I'm not wasting any time here. 2 teams coming off a back-to-back. We got the Phoenix Suns going to play the Washington Wizards. -2.5 for the Suns on the road. 222.5 is the total. Let me pull up the injury report for these two teams, and we have. Whoa, I lost it, and I got it back. We have. That is not the game. Oh, Devin TBD. Devin Booker TBD, as you know. It's just really you're not really going to get too much because they both played on a back-to-back, but you're not going to see Devin Booker more than likely, or Landry Shamet. His Achilles injury sounds like it's a little bit serious. Campaign, we'll hear about him, see if he's able to go tonight. And then for the other side, Bradley Beal did leave that game yesterday. So he has a hamstring injury. More than likely, you're probably not going to see Bradley Beal in this matchup. And it's going to be Corey Kisser is projected to be starting in that lineup. Maybe Will Barton. They could have a couple of guys they could sub in between. So you are getting 2.5 with the Suns, who lost to this same team a week ago. I think it was a week ago.
Yeah, about 7-8 days ago. Yep.
About a week ago, by 3 on the road. So, what are you doing here? Phoenix Suns laying 2.5.
Yeah, a lot of uncertainty. Like you said, both teams on a back-to-back. I mean, Washington, they've been playing better as of late. Covered 4 of the last 5. But as you stated, with Beal being out, I mean, a lot of that has been because Beal was he was just coming back. I think he's only played like 4 or 5 games since he came back. So, but in those games, like they've been playing a lot better. They've been playing a lot better, a lot more fluid. Porzingis has been playing a lot better. He's still, not posting up like he should and letting other guys post him up, which is odd, of course. But yeah, I would lean to Washington. Even without Beal, I think Phoenix played out of their mind last night. They blew the doors off of Memphis. They blew the doors off of Memphis. They blew the doors, and I think that was pretty much an aberration. I think Memphis. I thought Memphis was going to be a good spot. I didn't bet them simply because I just couldn't lay 8 against Phoenix. I mean, they're just too good of a team to just be laying 8 against, even though Memphis was coming off that defeat in Golden State. But yeah, I would lean to Washington simply because I think that they'll be the more energized team. Chris Paul might get the night off. I'm not sure if that's reflected in the line. I'm pretty sure it's not. And like you said, we're probably not going to see Booker. So, and Shamet is still nursing his Achilles. So who knows what that backcourt is going to look like for Phoenix. So I would lean to Washington. They've been, like I said, playing a lot better basketball. They're first in rim percentage. So Ayton is, I mean, he's a good defender, but he's not really a shot blocker or paint protector. So I think some of those guards and or forwards will be able to get to the rim on Phoenix and finish. So yeah, I like Phoenix. I mean, I like Washington in this game.
Yeah. So I think the deciding factor for me is that the fact that both of these teams are coming off a back-to-back. Washington's coming on a back-to-back, and they're at home, and Phoenix has a back-to-back with travel going from Memphis to DC.
Yep.
And then you also add what these teams are doing against the spread coming off of a back-to-back. Washington 5-2 this season. Crazy, they've had 7 back-to-backs in this season already, but 5-2 this season with no rest. And then you have the Phoenix Suns, who are towards the bottom of the league at 1-3 ATS with no rest. So I think this is a little bit of a good spot for the Wizards to have a rotation without playing with Bradley Beal. Like they are used to that. That's something that has happened numerous of times this season. Whereas the Phoenix Suns, they're still kind of trying to figure this thing out. Yes, they had one good game yesterday, but there's no Devin Booker. You're probably not going to have Landry Shamet. It's a pretty good possibility that you don't have Campaign either, and we're looking at the same injury report that we got last night. So I just think that I'm going to take the healthier team at home catching a couple points rather than the team that is coming off a really big win, and they're still trying to figure out what this rotation is going to look like with so many guys out. So, yeah, I'm with you. I'm on Washington plus 2.5, sprinkle on the money line.
Yeah, I don't think Chris Paul – I doubt Chris Paul is going to play either. I mean, just a hunch. And Phoenix, they haven't been like juggernauts at all. ATS 5-6 last 11. They are 5-8 ATS on the road. They do play well, but it's just more of a spot play than anything. I think Wizards are they'll be more energized. They got the younger legs, so they got more depth to throw at Phoenix. And I mean, we just listed out like their whole backcourt, Phoenix's whole backcourt, plus the bench pieces. Like, so who's gonna play? Dwayne Washington Jr., He's not going for 29 or 30 or whatever he went for last night. He's not going for that again. Good player, but yeah, I doubt he goes for that again. So yeah, I would lean to Washington pretty heavily.
Yeah. Only thing, if you're on Phoenix, they are in their last 3 games 3-0 against the spread on the road, so they are trending a little bit upward. If that's a play that you like tonight, total set at 222.5. What are you doing here?
I would lean under simply just off legs alone. Like like you said, Phoenix in the travel spot. I don't know how up they get for the Washington Wizards. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know if they're gonna look at Washington and be like, yeah, we could pretty much come out and put up 120 or 125. I don't think they'll do that. And Washington defensively, they do defend mid range and the rim really well, but they don't defend the three. So if Phoenix is knocking down threes, it could go over. But I think that, like I said, some of those guys aren't going to be out, so it's going to be a lot of bad shots. It's going to be a lot of bad offensive basketball. So I would lean to the under, especially if Bradley Beal's out on the Washington side, because I mean, who the hell is going to score for Washington other than Porzingis?
Well, you still got Kyle Kuzma there. I ain't gonna let you try to play my guy Kyle Kuzma.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna let you play my guy Kyle Kuzma.
No. I'm a Kyle Kuzma guy too. Yeah.
But Washington 3-4 to the over, and Phoenix 1-3 to the over on back-to-backs. Yeah, I think this is a good spot where I am gonna come in and back the under here. Both of these teams in a pretty bad spot for scoring.
Yeah, to the credit, I think Kuzma is gonna be seen a lot of Mikal Bridges, and Mikal Bridges is a hell of a defender.
Yeah, he is. All right. Next game on the slate, we have the Orlando Magic going to play the Detroit Pistons in Detroit. -1.5 for the Magic on the road. 229.5 is the total. Injured. Whoa, not that button. Injury report for these two teams. You're not really going to see anything on the Magic side of the ball. Again, they are coming off of a back-to-back. You're probably not going to see Jalen Suggs in this game regardless. And for the Pistons, Marvin Bagley is out. And then you're not seeing Isaiah Livers as well. So we get in 1.5 on the road with the Orlando Magic, who had their 10-game ATS streak snapped by the Lakers last night at home. What are you doing here?
Yeah, I like the Magic. I think the Magic are playing incredible basketball as you just ran down. Just the 10-1 in the last 11 ATS, 19, 16-1 on the season. Detroit has been trending in the wrong direction. They lost 6 straight, 1-5 ATS in that stretch. They are playing to the over. I know we haven't hit on the total yet, but they have been playing to the over. 11 of their 19 home games have went over. I just think Orlando is a better basketball team top to bottom right now. Detroit, they had a little lull where they play well and they were playing hard and covering games, but I think Orlando comes in. They got blasted. They didn't get blasted, but they got beat pretty bad by the Lakers last night. I think they lost by almost 20. But both are 6-4 to the over. I think it's going to be a lot of possessions. Let the young guys get up and down and run. I think Paolo has a big game because they have nobody on the wing to be able to contain him. So I would heavily lean to Orlando in this game. I think just flat out the better team. I don't think it's any other way to put it. Like Detroit is horrible at shooting the ball. They're bottom 5 in pretty much all shooting metrics as far as effective field goal percentage, 3-point percentage, mid-range, at the rim, like you name it, they're pretty much bottom 5 in everything. And they also allow 29th in points allowed per 100 possessions. So, I mean, Orlando's going to be able to score. They'll be able to do it in the half court. They'll be able to do it in transition. And they don't turn the ball over. Detroit, if they do get out and run, it's because of turnovers. But, Orlando takes care of the ball. They have been for the past few days or past few games. I just think that they're a better team, and I tend to lean with the better team.
Yeah. Excuse me. So, my thing here that I'm going with, well, let's just look at some of the series history. The Pistons have won 4 of the last 5 played against this team, including the one that they played earlier this season, 113-109 at home. And so they're playing at home again in this one. And I'm with you. I don't think I can go against this Orlando Magic train right now. Like, they're absolutely killing it. And I think it's more of now they're starting to get healthier. They're starting to be that young team that kind of learns about playing with each other. Whereas I don't think Dwayne Casey has a good grasp of this Pistons squad right now, because they on paper should be slightly better than 8-28. Like, I think that they're playing down. And I was fading this team earlier in the season. I believe I took the under on their win total. But it just seems like Cade Cunningham went out and he's kind of lost all grasp of what trajectory this team was going to go on. And so I think I'm going to take the better coach team. I think I'm going to take the better talent on the team in the Orlando Magic, even though they are coming off a back-to-back with travel. Yeah. I just think that this is a spot that they can get up for, especially with how young this roster is all the way around and the talent on this roster. I think that the Pistons just don't defend at all whatsoever. That
they don't.
A team on a back-to-back is not going to have issues getting to the rim and being able to score the basketball. So, yeah, I'm with the Orlando Magic here, -1.5.
Yeah, I just play usually if it's like between 1 and like 2.5, even 3 if it's a cheap money, I just take the money line. It's just I think it's better value for it. Like, I mean, but it's just my personal preference. It's just I would rather it mess around and land on 1 and you push, or if you land 1.5, you lose. So I'll pretty much be playing Orlando money line. If it's cheap, it's like 115, 120.
Yeah,
that's pretty cheap.
and I think that's a smart play, especially if you feel like you're in a situation where they get because if they get a 1-point win, you're gonna be sick. Like, oh man, I could have paid the extra 15 cents, 20 cents, and got a win on the money line. So yeah, I definitely agree with that, playing that money line that close. I'm seeing it currently at -120, so I'm perfectly fine with that. That's no problem.
That's fine.
All right. The Orlando Magic are 4-1 ATS on a back-to-back, so that gives more confidence. And they're also 4-1 to the over, which goes into my next play of I'm still taking the over in this game. Like, the Pistons are so bad defensively. Like, every defensive metric, they're bottom of the league and towards the bottom of the league. And it's like they're not even trying. And again, I think that's a little bit of a testament to just how I feel like Dwayne Casey is losing this squad, that everybody's just trying to score. Yep. Everybody's just trying to score. So I'm going to go over 229.5.
Yeah, both. I'm leaning over as well. Both teams are exactly 6-4 to the over in the last 10. And like I said, Detroit, 11 of their 19 home games have went over. And I mean, Orlando is, I mean, they're not going to blow you off the floor with, efficient, high scoring basketball, but Detroit's defense is just so bad that they're probably going to score on more possessions than they usually do. So yeah, I'm with you on that. Like, I don't think Detroit slows Orlando down, even on the back-to-back. Maybe they start off a little bit slower, but once they, get their legs back under them and realize that this team can't guard anybody, I think they'll turn up a little bit and it'll go over that total.
All right. Any player props you like for this one?
I like Paolo over. I didn't see his number. Let me look real quick. But I think Paolo has a good matchup with the Detroit front line. He'll be able to go. I would look for his points, rebounds, and assists, as well as his points. If that's available. I'm not sure if it's available now because we're on a little bit earlier than what we want to be. Let's see. Yeah, I don't see anything for the Magic right now. Maybe it's because of some of the guys might sit out or injuries or whatever. But I would look at Paolo. He's usually aligned like around 19.5, 20. So I would take that over. If it comes to that number, and his points, rebounds, and assists over, I think it's a big game for Paolo against his Detroit defense.
And Nick's talking about Markelle Fultz under 5 assists. He's been picking up his scoring, but struggling distributing the basketball. Yeah, he's been up and down with his assists recently. I just don't think that's something I can get a read on what night he's going to have a large assist night and whatnot. But I guess what I would say is I wouldn't take it tonight, the under, if you're talking about tonight, but just because the Lakers, while we know the Lakers to be who they are, they're still somewhat decent defensively. They got Patrick Beverley and some guys that can actually get up on the defensive side of the ball. And I'll say that their better attribute is definitely their defense on that team. Whereas on the Pistons, the better attribute for the Pistons is definitely their offense and not their defense. So if there is a game where Markelle Fultz is going to go crazy and drop, I don't know, finally have a double-digit assist game, it'd probably be this one against the Pistons where everybody is going to be able to get their shot.
Yeah, and I think, if Munaf was on, he would be on Jalen Duren. I'm looking at his points, rebounds, and assists at 22.5. I'm going to be interested to see, like, the Magic have a lot of length and they got a lot of size. So I'm gonna be interested to see how he adapts to that because the Magic have 6'9", 6'11", 6'10", 6'11"
Yeah,
guys that they can
look
throw at
at
him.
Franz Wagner is 6'10". You have Bobo, you all know is 7'2". We have Mo Bamba coming off the bench.
Yep.
He's 7 foot. You got a 7-footer in Wendell Carter.
Yeah, like it's so many players that could throw at him.
Even Paolo and Caleb Houston are
Right.
both 6. Well, Paolo's 6'10". Paolo's all at 6'10", but Caleb Houston even has some size to him. So it's a bunch of size on this Magic team. So Jalen Durant could struggle tonight.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was looking to go under his points, rebounds, and assists simply because, I think they're gonna beat him up. He's gonna be physical. They're gonna be physical with him. And I would look to play that under. Maybe he'll get their rebounds just because the Pistons can't shoot, and he'll be getting. He's really good on offensive glass. But yeah, I would look at him under. I think I see the number at 23.5, so I would look to Jalen Durant under points, rebounds, and assists. He's not going to get any.
Well, he did get a double-double when they played earlier in the season, and that was before he even had a real role on the team. 22 minutes, 7 for 13, 14, and 10. Everybody, Isaiah Stewart struggled on the boards, 5 rebounds. But it could be. I think he's going to have the opportunity, and you're going to have to play him out there. I think that's probably the issue, that you're going to have to play him out there with all that size on the court. So talent plus opportunity equals production. So he could very well get there. I think I'll stay away from Jalen Durant's under. But, yeah, Kobe was just going to what I was on. I'm on Killian Hayes' assist again, man. Like, he's cashing this prop, and he has the opportunity because I think the Magic are going to be a little bit slow on one end of the court, whether it's the offensive end or whether it's the defensive end. I think they are going to be a little bit slower defensively just because I don't trust the defense of the Pistons. And Killian Hayes has been that point guard for this team. Like, since Caden Cunningham has gone out, he has 10 assists last game, 5, 4, 5, 8, 4, 8, 9. Like, so you're probably going to get his assists probably at 5.5. Maybe it'll get up to 6.5. But I think that you have a good chance on Killian Hayes' assist tonight.
I see his assists at 6.5.
Yeah, so of course it's up a little bit more because he had that 10 assist game.
And it's juice too. Like I see 150, 138, 140. So
yeah, and I think it's because they have a really good matchup. I think this is a really good matchup.
Yeah, they slid.
Should be slow defensively.
Yeah, Casey did something interesting. He slid Killian Hayes to the focal point as the ball handler and moved Jaden Ivey more off the ball like he was at Purdue. And I think that's benefited both parties. Ivey has been playing a lot better off the ball. Me and Munaf also. Well, Munaf put me on it. He'd been over his turnover prop, Jaden Ivey, and since then, it's been less ball handling for Jaden Ivey, and Killian Hayes is taking advantage of that. So yeah, I like that play as well. His points plus assists is pretty juicy as well. You can get his points and assists at 19.5. So you can get a 12-8 game. You can get a 15 and you can get a 15-5. So I would look. I'm going to be on points and assists for Killian Hayes. So you put me on that one.
Yeah, Killian Hayes. I like Killian Hayes. I like Jaden Ivey at over 15.5. I think he can have a 20-piece game today playing against Paolo Banchero. I think that's about it. I think I'm on Ivey. Ivey and Banchero feel like a cool little parlay that's probably going to hit. Okay. Let's move on to the next game of the slate. We have the Brooklyn Nets going to the Atlanta to play the Atlanta Hawks, minus 6.5 for the Nets. 235 is the total. Let's pull up an injury report for these two. And we have for the Brooklyn Nets, Joe Harris is going to be out. You got Seth Curry, who's coming off an illness. He should be probable for this game. And for the Hawks, they played last night, so you're not going to really have an injury report. But you will be looking at Trae Young, Clint Capella, DeAndre Hunter, and Jared Colbert. Trae Young was the only one of those 4 to play last night. So more to see on the Atlanta side of ball, pending injury report. But what are you doing with this one, laying 6.5 on the road with Brooklyn?
Yeah, I don't know what to do with Atlanta. I didn't adjust my rating for them because I was real high on them coming into the season, and they just haven't been doing it for me as of late. I lost on them last night. I played them against Indiana, and they just started off pretty well and didn't finish at all. 13-20 ATS on the season, 7-10 ATS at home. They just I don't know. Maybe they got too much talent. I don't know. Is there such a thing as having too much talent on the team where they just don't know how to mesh it together?
No, I think the issue with Atlanta has always been their issue is that they have zero attributes defensively. They have nothing defensively besides DeAndre Hunter and maybe DeJounte Murray when he gets his head up his ass. But you also have a team that can't shoot. Like you have a team that cannot shoot. All those players that you have one player on that team in Bogdanovich that you can sit there and say can shoot, and he's one of the streakiest players in the league. So it's like, are they going to have a good shooting night tonight? Yes, no. All right, then that tells you if they're going to win. And it's hard for them to have really good shooting nights on the road, which is why for years Atlanta has been such a bad road team. And so, I mean, I can see them getting up for this game with the Nets coming in town.
Yeah.
But there's no way I'm taking.
How hot the Nets are.
Yeah. And I like to back Atlanta at home. I love to back Atlanta at home, but there's no way I'm taking them and not knowing what's on this injury report with the added factor that this team can't shoot. They're not going to play any defense. I mean, I can't just sit there and say they're at home and automatically take them. They're not one of those auto teams for me. So I'm on Nets here, -6.5. And I'd probably look at it again when the injury report comes out for Atlanta. But other than that, that's all I got for right now.
Yeah, I mean, the 26th in effective field goal percentage, 29th in 3-point percentage. I mean, I don't know, like Bogdanovich, Trey, DeAndre Hunter. I mean, those are pretty good shooters. I have no idea how they just can't shoot. And they're
streaky. They're just streaky shooters. You don't ever hear those guys having like a really good percentage from the field. They just score a bunch of points because they have so much volume. And this Nets team's playing really good defensively. So if you give them a bunch of chances or you miss a bunch of shots against them, they're going to make you pay for it because they can be very, very consistent scoring the basketball. As Nick putting in the chat, Kyrie's averaging 35 and 6 over his last 7.
Yeah, I was going Kyrie over as well. I think it's a big Kyrie game. But
Kyrie has opportunity. Kevin Durant, like you have so many. Yeah. They finally got it. TJ Warren is coming off the bench and giving them really great production in minutes. So this Nets team is looking really, really good right now. I can't get in front of them for the Hawks, who may or may not have a full supporting cast today.
Yeah, if they do have Capella and Kongu both, I would look at their rebounds because the one thing the Nets don't do well is they don't rebound at all.
Yeah, that's
true. Especially not in the half court. They just have basically one big guy, which is Claxton, and he's pretty much the Kevon Looney of that team. Like he just starts, plays 2 to 3 minute stretches at a time, and then they put Ben Simmons or Kevin Durant at the 5. So they struggle to rebound in the half court. Something interesting that I was looking at about the Nets is top 5 in every shooting percentage category, like at the rim, effective field goal percentage, mid-range, 3-point percentage. Like they are top 5 in every shooting category that you could think of. And that just goes to show you how locked in they are. And even on defense, they're top 10 in effective field goal percentage defense and rim defense. So even without a rim protector, they have some guys who can, defend the rim. One thing they don't do well is defend the 3, but like we was just talking about, Atlanta, they don't shoot the 3 well. So the thing that can be exploited on this Nets offense, this Nets defense, the Hawks can't do. And the Hawks don't shoot a lot of 3s. They're one of the only teams who literally has an equal shot distribution at every level. Like they shoot 33.3% at the rim. They shoot 33.3% from mid-range and 33.3% from 3. So they have an equal shot distribution across the board. So I'm making a case for Brooklyn. I'll probably just end up passing and taking it over. 6 of the last 10 I went over for Atlanta. While Brooklyn, they don't like to run. They're like mid-level in pace. 75% of their steals do lead to transition opportunities. And, with Trae Young throwing the ball all over the place and some sloppy play by Atlanta, I think that could lead to some points in transition. So instead of playing the side, I would probably end up on the over in this game.
All right. Let's see here. I think what I want to do. Well, I'll go ahead and go to you while I still try to figure it out. But prop wise, what do you like here?
I like Kyrie over. I think I've seen 26.5 for his points. Like that a lot. They brought it up in the chat about him averaging 30 plus in his last uh, 5 or 6 games. I think it's a big game for him. DeJounte Murray is probably gonna try to guard KD, so that would leave. I mean, they're not gonna put Trae Young on Kyrie. That would probably leave like somebody like Hunter if he plays guarding Kyrie, simply because Murray's more physical, so he would be able to get, he'll be able to withstand Durant posting up. Hunter he's a decent defender, but I think Murray is more versatile with his defensive prowess, and I would also lean to Trae Young points and assists over. Let me see if I can get a good number for that. Because if they are going to have any type of success, then obviously Trae Young has to be the focal point of that. So I see it right now at 36.5. I think that's pretty fair. That's what 23 and 14, or 25 and 13 or 12. So I think you can have a pretty good game. Now, will they win the game? I don't know, because of how well Brooklyn's been playing, especially defensively. Trae's going to see a lot of bodies, man. He's going to see Ben Simmons. He's going to see Kevin Durant. He's going to see TJ Warren. He's going to see a lot of different bodies. So it'll be interesting to see how he adapts to some of that length that they put on him. But I think he's in for a big game. He usually shows up when they play big games. It's a home game. A lot of fans going to be there for this game. So I would lean to Trae Young over points and assists, and also Kyrie Irving over 26.5 points.
All right. I don't see a number on them. Probably not going to see it until the beginning of the, right before the games tip off, probably about an hour some change before. But I'm going to be on TJ Warren if they drop his props. He's been really, really good, and he's kind of found his rhythm and establishing on what he wants to do offensively. And I'm just looking at his past few games, what his field goal percentage is when he does take the shots. And you have 64%, 45%, 50%, 75%, 66%, 6%, 75% against the same Atlanta team where he dropped 14 on them. So if I'm getting a 13.5, 14.5, 15, somewhere like that for TJ Warren, I'm probably going to pull the trigger on that. I think that that's something he can do just when he gets the opportunity with the ball. He's started to really find a rhythm for himself, dropping 23 and 8 last game against the Cleveland Cavaliers. So, yeah, I like some TJ Warren today.
Yeah, and those they have Atlanta has some young guys on the bench like Jalen Johnson, AJ Griffin, so he'll be able to exploit defensively those guys when he comes in and plays with that second unit. So I like that a lot. Also, I don't see Okongwu props because I think they're waiting on the Capella news if he's going to be in or out. But I would look at his rebounds. They have his points, rebounds, and assists up, but I mean it's just hard to give a recommendation if we don't know who's playing or not. But that's something I would look at for sure if Capella's out. Okongwu rebounds.
Yep. All right. I like it all. Before we get to the next game and talk about the official sports book of SGPN, WinBet has a bunch of active states, and there's a ton of ways to win, like live betting. You have same game parlays and the Win Build Your Own Bet feature. You have the reduced juice. Wow. You have the reduced juice in sides and totals for all of the bowl games day of. So every single college football bowl game that you want to bet on, you can get reduced juice. So the best number or the best odds from any sportsbook, you can get that over at WinBet. Great promos, odds, and payouts, all at WinBet. Like new customers can receive a special offer, bet $100, win $100, limited to state availability. There is so much to choose from. All you have to do is head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/winbet. That is sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET. Claim your free bet today. Our subject change terms, conditions at winbet.com. Must be 21 older, present state where playthrough WinBet is available. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700. And we're also brought to you by the SGPN Mini Helmet Contest. Mini helmets are here. You can get one for free. Just enter the contest at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/helmet. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/helmet. All right, let's go Duke over UCF. Oh man, why don't I know the line off that game from the top of my head? I'm sorry, guys. Somebody asked college football. I got to answer. It's 3.5 by Duke. Yeah, I'll take Duke. I'll take Duke laying 3.5.
Yeah, I'm on Duke as well.
All right, Next, we are back talking about the NBA, and we have the Los Angeles Lakers going to play the Miami Heat. This is a back-to-back for the Lakers, and a lot of back-to-backs in the association tonight.
Yeah, definitely.
So Miami is laying 8.5. Oh my gosh, I can't. Oh man, I could not even say that because the Heat are laying 8.5. Wow. All right. The Heat are laying 8.5 at home. 226.5 is the total. Let's go and fly by an injury report for this game. And I would love to say fly by, but you can never fly by a Miami Heat injury report because they put everybody on the injury report. But I'll let you know that I'm not going to be able to have much for the Lakers because they did play last night. The person that you should be concerned about is LeBron James, and if they decide to play him during this back-to-back or not. Let's see. He has sat out the back-to-back, the second game of a back-to-back in 3 out of the 4 that they played this season. So there's a little bit of a trend for you there. Jimmy Butler is questionable. Bam Adebayo is questionable. Caleb Martin is probable. Gabe Vincent is questionable. Dwayne Dedmon is out. Udonis Haslem is questionable. And you're not seeing Omar Yurtseven. He's on IR. So I don't know how you can trust the Miami Heat injury report. I don't know. I guess you can sit here and say it's safe to assume that LeBron is not going to play in this. I would think that the line is baked in that LeBron is not playing. So what are you doing here laying 8.5 with Miami at home?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't want anything to do with either team. I mean, the Lakers off that back-to-back 2-7-1 ATS in the last 10. They're 1-4 ATS the last 5. They like it's just hard to handicap the team without LeBron and AD, and it's also hard to handicap Miami Heat with. I mean, we don't know who the hell is going to be playing. They might as well put Haslam out there and get him some minutes in this game.
I mean, obviously they do. We've seen them be out there before because they have nothing.
Yeah, like so. I mean, it's. I wouldn't play the game at all. Like Aaron was saying in the chat, I would just stay away simply because you don't know who's going to be playing. Like it's literally no props on the board for any either of these teams. That just goes to show you nobody has any idea what's going on. As far as like, I mean, if you have to bid it, I guess I would just take Miami simply because they might have more players playing. Although we know Miami is terrible, 11-21 ATS, 3-6 the last 3-6-1 the last 10 ATS. So I mean, it's hard to make a case for either team. Miami does play defense, and I think that they have a better team without their star like Jimmy Butler or Bam. I think they still have a better team than what the Lakers have. The Lakers, I mean, they can't score, they can't shoot. They usually try to defend, but the ball movement of Miami is going to throw them off. I really don't have much on this game simply because we don't know who's going to be playing. The Lakers outside the top 20 in all shooting metrics except for corner threes, and they're 19th in that. So that just goes to show you they're doing nothing good right now, and it's going to have to be a lot of shaking up by the trade deadline. They're second in pace and they love to run, but they're horrible. They have horrible metrics in transition. They have better metrics in the half court than they do in transition, where they're supposedly best at. So, I mean, the Lakers are a bit of a mess. I guess you could take the Russ triple double, but I mean, who knows? Like, I have no idea what to do with this game. I would just strictly stay away. Don't even watch it. Just watch Duke UCF.
Yeah, you don't have to bet every game. You really don't. We're handicapping every game because that's just what we do, but you don't have to bet every game. And this is probably a game that you should think about staying away from. But how I'm attacking it, if I had to, was Miami's 3-12-1 ATS at home as a favorite. This has not been the spot that you want them. It doesn't like 3-12-1 is really bad. It's historic level bad. It's actually intentional. Like you have to intentionally be that bad for you to be like this. Like there's no way of what is that 16 games, that 12 you lost against the spread against different teams at home as a favorite. Like you have to be trying to be this bad. And it feels like that's what they're doing whenever they get this number. So I'm not laying 8.5 with them. I'll take the Lakers plus the 8.5. I don't like the Lakers either, but I just can't get on that trend of taking Miami as a favorite of this magnitude, especially when they're terrible guarding the ball. yes, they have they are third in points per game, opponents' points per game,
Mm-hmm.
but they are towards the bottom in field goal percentage. They're towards the bottom in 3-point percentage. Whenever you get a shot up, it's more than likely going in when you're playing against Miami. So I think that right there opens the door for the Lakers just because of their pace and the fact that they're going to get a lot of shots up in this game. May they be the best shots? May they be the shots that you want them to take? No, but they're going to get a lot of shots up in this game. And if Miami is going to let you get shots up and they're going to let you make about half of them, then I got to think that the Lakers keep this one close no matter who's out there. So, yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll go to the Lakers plus 8.5. They're asking about a Thomas Bryant sneaky double-double. Yeah, sure. I guess he's out there. We just back Bams. Somebody said an over on Bam's rebounds. No, we're not betting over on Bam's rebounds. We're not taking over on Bam's props ever. Bam is in the fade list. He's over there with Miles Turner. He's over. I can't even think of everybody in the fade list right now. But I know for a fact that Bam is public enemy number one because whenever we pick Bam, Bam does nothing. Matter of fact, I'm going to just prove it to you. I'm literally going to prove it to you right now. Let's take the over on Bam tonight. Let's do it.
Take his points, rebounds, and assists.
It's a good play because the Lakers don't have much size. Exactly. You're only worried about Thomas Bryant. So let's take the over on Bam tonight. And let's just go ahead and prove the experiment right that whenever we back Bam in a good matchup that he has, he literally does nothing. Gobert is the other person that we're fading because oh my gosh. All right, you guys are getting me riled up.
Yeah,
I hope Bam plays. I'll back Bam if he plays, just to prove a point that whenever he has a positive matchup, whenever things look like he should have a good game, he is going to fold.
Man, I can't bag on Bam, a North Carolina guy. Man, I can't bag on Bam like that. He does pretty well whenever I play him. He does pretty well. I mean, you got to pick your spots, but like you said, advantageous matchups. He has been underwhelming this year, though. I will say that because. I mean, no Jimmy's there. Like he's not a one. Jimmy, he feeds off Jimmy and Hero. So like if LeBron's in, I'm with you. Like I'll be on the Lakers. But if he's out, I would just stay away. So I guess I can just say that, But man, this game is gonna be nuts. Like it could be maybe like 75 to like 90. Like either way, I can see this game going so many ways. I like the under though. Obviously, I like the under a lot.
I'm on the over actually. I think Miami's going to give up points in this one. They're not even going to try, and I don't trust the Lakers on a back-to-back to do anything right. So I just think that this is going to be an ugly game that somehow goes over the total. I think it's going to be a weird up and down game, and somehow goes over the total. So
what is it?
I would have a slight lean to the over.
Yeah, I can see a lower scoring game. Well, I mean, I won't. I'm not gonna put my money on it, but I would just lean to the under.
And what am I doing? Oh yeah, I'm talking about the player props. Tyler Hero. I'm back on Tyler Hero. Give me Tyler Hero over his points in this one. I just think that he has opportunity for a really good game. Yes, he might get Patrick Beverley a good amount in this game, but
who cares?
Tyler Hero's got the size and he's been consistent. Like he's been consistent for the most part. So I'm gonna back Tyler Hero again over his points tonight.
Yep, I'm with you. I'm with you on Hero. Man, I'm taking my guy Bam. He can win us some money. Over points, rebounds, and assists.
Bam's really gonna disappoint you.
Man, Bam's gonna get us. He's gonna get us right, man. He's gonna get us right.
Next game on the slate, we have the Milwaukee Bucks playing the Chicago Bulls in Chicago. -4.5 for the Bucks on the road. 232.5 is the total. Let's fly by an injury report here. And for the Milwaukee Bucks, in a rare game where neither team is playing off a back-to-back, the Bucks have Jrue Holiday as probable for a hamstring injury, and Chris Middleton is still out. And for the Chicago Bulls, we have Alex Caruso, who is questionable with a concussion in the shoulder. We have Javonte Green, who was questionable with the knee, and Derrick Jones Jr., who is doubtful with an ankle injury. All right, we have a rematch of the first round of the the first round of the East playoffs last year, and Milwaukee Bucks laying 4.5 on the road. What are you doing?
Love Milwaukee here. Good spot for them. They haven't been playing well. This is their 5th straight road game. They're 4-6 ATS the last 10, 5-10 ATS the last 15 on the road, 5-10-1 last 16 on the road. Since 2018, the Bucks are 12-1 versus the Bulls. And in those 13 games, only 2 of those games have been by single digits, and one of those games was by 9. And the only reason they got there was because a late, I think a late layup or just a random shot that they just let them have at the end of the game. So the Bucks usually dominate this. It's a great Giannis spot. I like everything over for Giannis, points, rebounds. He should have like a 40-15 type of night. They don't have no answer for it. I mean, nobody has an answer for them. But the Bulls, 5-5 last 10 ATS, 6-9 ATS at home. So injuries riddled this team. Not really high on them at all. They need Lonzo and Caruso back healthy. That's what makes the team go. Other than that, just give me the Bucks laying the 4.5. Give me the team total over. Give me Giannis over points and rebounds. Although they haven't been performing well, this is a team that they historically play well against. Like the Bulls do not match up well with them at all. It's not it's not a long road trip. Milwaukee to Chicago is, like a bus ride. So give me Milwaukee laying a 4.5 against the Bulls.
Yeah, so it's pretty easy for me. We're not touching this Bulls team at all. We're not touching the Bulls at all. It doesn't matter what you're throwing at me. I'm just on a complete fade of the Bulls, especially after that performance against Houston the other night at home. Yep. So,
oh man, I was on that too. We were on that together.
Yeah, we were. So it was a really, really bad, like terrible game. Disgusting. They have no inside presence. They really don't have any type of defensive identity at all, especially without Alex Caruso. And so whether he goes or whether he's not, I don't think he's anything that's going to change the whole aspect of what this team is going to do defensively. Yes, I'm trying to say Milwaukee. I tried to mix Miami and Milwaukee. Yes, Milwaukee is struggling on the road this season. They are 5-10-1 to the number on the road, but they are 8-8 to the money line. So they're playing a little bit better than they are for against the spread. I'm backing the Bucks here. The Bucks dominate this team. Y'all said the numbers. I think it is like two games. So I'm completely over the Bulls. Honestly, I'm just done with that team. There's no way. And yes, they were my lock. That's why you can hear the frustration in my voice because they were my lock and I thought they were a better team than this. But you could be wrong. And now they're in auto fade for me. I'm not touching the Bulls no matter what it is. Like there's nothing that you can sit here and tell me. They got me when I played them against the Knicks the first time in that back-to-back. And then they got me again against the Rockets. You're not going to get me a third time. Favorites, the Milwaukee Bucks are 16-10-1. So yeah, give me Milwaukee minus 4.5. Hopefully Jrue Holiday does play. That's going to make me feel a lot better about getting only 4.5 from Milwaukee.
Yeah, I like if Jrue does play, they have his props listed as 18.5. I like him over 18.5 points simply because Caruso's not there. Kobe White can't guard. DeSumo is young. Jrue Holiday will put him in the post. He'll post him up all night. He'll get 10 to 11 points just off of post ups and fouls on those younger guys. I also like Vucevic points and rebounds. I think it's over 23 right now. Milwaukee, they don't shoot it as well from three as you're accustomed to. I mean, simply because they've had time without Middleton and Holiday, and also Ingles hasn't played much either. So I think he would be a monster on the glass. We all know Brook Lopez is not going to bang down low. He's going to be more of the outside shooting three. So there'll be a lot of longer rebounds. So Vucevic over 23 points and rebounds. Jrue Holiday over 18.5 points. Giannis over his points and rebounds is 43.5. I'll go over that as well. And play Brook Lopez under 13.5 points.
All right. Yeah, I can't find a metric where I want to back the Bulls. There's not a single thing that I want to back the Bulls. I don't want to back them in the first half. I don't want to back them in the first quarter. I can't find any way.
Man, I tripled down on the Bulls in that game. I bet them first quarter, first half, and full game. 0-3.
Yeah.
In that game against Houston, they got blasted. Start to finish, they got blasted.
Yeah, they're just not good. They're not good. I'm staying away from them tonight. All right. Next game on the docket, let's go to the Minnesota Timberwolves, who are playing the New Orleans Pelicans in New Orleans. -6.5 for the Pelicans. 234 is the total in this game. And for an injury report for these two teams, we have for Minnesota, you are expected to see Kyle Anderson questionable for the game. Jordan McLaughlin has already announced that he will be out, missing another game. That does affect the depth that they have at point guard. And for the New Orleans Pelicans, you have Zion Williamson, who's probable to play in this game coming off of COVID and some Christmas gumbo. I'm trying to tell you that Christmas. Look, the Christmas gumbo tradition is fire, and he was in New Orleans. Like I know he had some. I know he did. Everybody did. Everybody did. They probably had a big old pot at the arena. Like, oh man, I gotta tell you, if y'all ain't been New Orleans, like if I ain't been to New Orleans, next time you go to New Orleans, go try the gumbo. Like, please go try the gumbo. It's so good. Oh my gosh. All right, let's move on. We got Trey Murphy, who is probable. We have Herb Jones, who is questionable. Dyson Daniels is probable. Brandon Ingram, you're not going to see in this game. All right. I don't think you're going to see Herb Jones, but you possibly could. I think he's going to get one of those outs for conditioning. You're laying 6.5 with New Orleans at home against Timberwolves. What are you doing?
Yeah, I'll probably be off of this game as well. Probably just looking to play some player props. Simply because Minnesota, while they have been underwhelming, they have been pretty decent as of late as far as being competitive. I think the number is probably like as sharp as it can be at this current number. New Orleans at full strength or even half strength, like I would be laying it with them, but no Trey Murphy, no who else was missing? No Trey Murphy, no Brandon Ingram, no
Trey Murphy's probable. Trey Murphy and Zion Williamson and Dyson Daniels are all probable. Herb Jones is questionable. I think he might not play.
Yeah,
and then you're not having Brandon Ingram.
Yeah, so I probably would just look if Zion and CJ McCollum is in. Yeah, I'm gonna just stay away. I would probably want to play New Orleans simply because Minnesota's not good on the road. 6-11 ATS on the road. They're in the middle of the pack of defensive and offensive rating. They do score well in the paint, and that's mostly just because of Rudy and Cat. But Cat's not there, and Rudy sucks. So, not sure if they'll be able to dominate in the paint against Valanciunas as they do smaller size teams. New Orleans has been making a lot of money for me as this season. 11-7 ATS at home. They're 3-2 straight up in ATS the last 5. Top 10 in offensive and defensive rating. And this is, with a mixture of lineups. It's not just the same guy. So that just goes to show they have good depth with their lineup. They don't defend the rim well, which is trouble because Anthony Edwards can get to the rim pretty much at ease. And with no Herb Jones as that primary defender, I think Anthony Edwards has a big night. Simply because, with Cat out of the paint, that just opens up more. It just opens up more space for him, which is what he needs. He's a slasher, and he can't slash if you got the Twin Towers or the lesser version of the Twin Towers in the paint. So that he has been playing well since Cat has been out. He's playing even better when Cat and Rudy was out. But then Rudy came back and killed that chemistry. New Orleans is still 4th in point differential, 6th in points allowed per 100 possessions. They defend the 3 well, but Minnesota doesn't shoot the ball well. They pretty much go to the paint a lot. They're very efficient at the rim. Yeah, I would stay away from the game and just look at some player props. I would play the over in the game, though. I would play the over in the game.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. I'm still fighting this cold a little bit. I think it's the remnants of it, but either way, Nick's talking about that he's just going to set the money that he was going to bet on Gobert props on fire. Yep, that is a better way because at least you're going to get the joy of watching the fire burn. Like, you're not going to have any joy of watching Gobert not hit his rebound prop again, but you're going to get the joy of watching the fire burn. You want me to sacrifice myself by taking his rebound props? Nope, I'm not touching Rudy at all. It doesn't matter. Matter of fact, I'm telling you, I'm fading Rudy we're playing Zion Williamson over on his points, even coming back on the first game back. I'm not afraid of it because Zion actually owns Rudy Gobert. He in 4 games he has played against Rudy Gobert. He has 26 and 10, 27-3, 32-5, 13-0. That 13-0 was in 15 minutes. So he's going to get to the rim. He's going to get buckets. He's absolutely going to torch. Rudy cannot keep up with him. He's too fast. He's too athletic of a big for him to keep up with. And there's no other size or nobody fast enough that can stop or even come close to slowing down Zion Williamson. So I think this is a masterclass game by Zion Williamson coming back from COVID protocols. And I'm on the Pelicans here. I'm not touching the Minnesota Timberwolves. I think they have a good chance of just absolutely being demolished by the Pelicans on the road here, because the Pelicans, while they are up and down with their defense, they do have games where they come up defensively because they have Jose Alvarado. You potentially could have Herb Jones. I don't think he's going to be there. So that'll open up Lauri Markkanen for me and taking Lauri Markkanen points if Herb Jones doesn't play. But yeah, I don't think that this is any opportunity where I think I'm going to back the Minnesota Timberwolves. They're just too up and down team, too much of a streaky team, not that good on the road. I'm backing the Pelicans here -6.5. And honestly, I'd probably take it up to that 11+ win margin because I think that they can really run the Timberwolves out of the building in this one.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to that. Like I'll be staying away from the side. But prop wise, I'll be on Anthony Edwards over 23.5 points. I think it's a good matchup with Herb Jones there. Also D'Angelo Russell over points and assists.
Did I say Lauri Markkanen? I'm tripping. Yeah, I'm on a game before. I'm on the next game. I got my notes. I got my notes mixed in with each other. Good. Yeah, I meant Anthony Edwards.
I knew what you meant though.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm on Anthony Edwards, and also points and assists by D'Angelo Russell. That is currently at -110 either way. So I think he'll have the ball in his hands a lot. He'll be able to run and transition. Pelicans, they're not the best running team, but they are prone to get up and down when opportunity presents itself. So his points and assists right now is at 25.5. So we can get a 19-8 type of game from Russell. He has been dishing the ball well over the last month. So I look for him 25.5 points and assists, and Anthony Edwards over 23.5 points.
All right. Total sitting at 234. What are you doing?
Yeah, I'll go over. If the Pelicans are going to have as much success as we think, then I think that the Timberwolves are going to put up some points too. Pelicans have been really good defensively, but I mean, if it's just a track meet up and down, then Timberwolves, they're hitting their shots, it could go over. I don't think I would lean to the under on some Gobert stuff, because I don't know if he'll be able to play as much with some of the matchup wise that the Pelicans play with. Because whenever Valanciunas is off the court, I mean, he can't play. Like he can't guard Zion. So who the hell is he going to guard? Yeah. So I think that opens up more scoring for both teams matchup wise. So I would lean to the over.
And I'm going under in this one. I think that's too high of a total, 234. Both of these teams kind of trend to the under a little bit in terms of the spot, where on the road Minnesota is 8-9 to the over and 8-10 to the over for the Pelicans, and Pelicans 9-12 to the over as a favorite. So it just kind of leans under in that aspect. And I just think that if you get one bad quarter, that's really going to set you back in this one. Like I truly do think that. And I don't think that the Minnesota Timberwolves hold up their end of the scoring. Like I think that they're going to go stagnant a little bit. And this is a really good spot at the Pelicans to just kind of keep their playing basketball at home and how well they play at home, keep that trend going. So, yeah, I'm backing the Pelicans again here and the under. Let's see. Next game on the docket, we have the Utah Jazz. This is the game I was waiting for. Utah Jazz going to play the Golden State Warriors. Jazz are laying 4 on the road. Warriors coming off of a back-to-back. Looks like a 223.5 is the total for this game. They've already announced that Klay Thompson is not expected to play in this game with injury management. Let's go look at the rest of the injury report, and we have
Draymond has to be out. Poole has to be questionable, because no way should Utah be laying 4 in Golden State. There's no way.
Yeah,
No way.
It's the books, man. The books make it so easy for us with Utah. Like they really do.
No way.
For the Golden State Warriors, Wiggins out, Klay Thompson unlikely to play, and then we're still gonna find out about JaMychal Green. No word about Draymond, no word about Poole. So it seems like as of now they're going to play. And for the Utah Jazz, Kelly Olynyk is questionable. So, I mean,
it's simple, man.
It's so easy. Like it's so easy. They give it to you. Just Golden State +4. Golden State +4.
Line.
We talk about how bad Utah is as a favorite. They don't cover games as a favorite. What is the new number at? Because I haven't said the number in a while, and I think the people have forgot the number. So now I got to tell the people the new number. The new number for Utah as a favorite this season is 5-9. 5-9 as a favorite this season. As an underdog, they are 15-7. So you would be, what is that? 20-16 if you bet them as an underdog, faded them as a favorite. Up a bunch of units. So easy. Now, let's add into the fact that Golden State is a home dog for this game. And that's where they play their best basketball as a home dog. They are, where are they at on the season as a home dog? Give me a second and I'll pull that up for you.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, they're sitting at, as a home dog, 2-0. So 2-0 as a home dog this season. You're getting them that on a back-to-back. One, they actually have played pretty decently on a back-to-back this season. 3-4 ATS, but they've been given like some kind of sketchy lines. And I'll just say that 3-4 is more impressive than it sounds. And then, especially because they normally sit everybody on the back-to-back. So you're not seeing Steph, you're not seeing Klay, you're not seeing Draymond, you're not seeing Wiggins. Like they normally sit all those guys on the back-to-back. That's so 3-4 with your B League, G League squad, whatever it is. Yep. Yeah, that's pretty good. So, and let's add the last time these two teams played, Utah had a miraculous comeback to win the game when they were a favorite. And I think they were favored by like 6-7 points in that game. So yes, it is so easy. 100% wait for the Warriors to announce more people out and get a better line. Cause I'm taking the Warriors regardless.
Yeah. I don't know.
I would take them now. And so this is the sharp thing to do. Take them now and take the line now, wait for somebody to be out. And then, whatever, say you put 75% of your unit on that first game, take that other 25% and put it on when the game starts and you get that money line a lot higher. Like you do that because it's absolutely insane. It's absolutely insane. This is so easy of a game to bet. Like they're so easy of a team to bet. And they're calling me Vernon Maxwell in the comments because of my hatred of Utah. But I don't even hate Utah. I appreciate Utah because I don't have to worry about handicapping their games. I don't have to worry about trying to find you a stat saying, oh, Utah is this bad defensively and Golden State is this. No, I don't have to do that because Utah is so easy to bet. You fade them as a favorite and you back them as a dog.
Yeah, they just and Golden State, point differential +10 at home, -10 on the road. So I mean, that just goes to show you they're going to play well. The only person that's going to move the line is Jordan Poole, and I think he'll play. I mean, he's young. He don't need to rest. I mean, but then again, a lot of these guys are young and don't need to rest, and they still rest anyway, and they still get injured for resting. So it doesn't really help at all.
I don't even know how you can even. I don't even know how you can be scared of that because the bench is playing well.
Yeah.
Like the bench is playing really well. They have veterans like Ty Jerome and Anthony Lamb that are coming off the bench and giving them really valuable minutes and scoring. So
I like DiVincenzo too.
Yeah, DiVincenzo as well. Like it's not like any of these guys are going out here dropping 25 points, but the 8, 9, 10, 12 points that they're contributing is really good.
Yeah, I'm on Golden State here, like all the way. Like I would. The only person that's going to move the line, Draymond's not going to move it. The only person that's going to move it is Poole. So I mean, maybe it moves, a half a point if Draymond's out. If that, I don't think Draymond's worth that. But I think Golden State is gonna. I think Golden State is gonna be in that mode to be able to get on a little stretch here. They got some good news with Steph probably being back around January 7th, so next week. They said he was a little bit ahead of schedule in his rehab. He said he was feeling great. Going to try to do some 5-on-5 stuff this weekend. So, I mean, they get 3 or 4 more games at home. It's a favorable schedule. I think they get the Bulls, they get Detroit, Orlando, some winnable games, definitely some winnable games. They're going a little streak here, and when Steph gets back, they'll be right back in the rhythm and right back in the thick of things. But as for the game, I mean, I don't pretty much have to say anything. Like you pretty much stated it well. No way Golden State should be a 4-point dog to a Utah Jazz team. No way. I don't care who's playing. I don't care who's playing. Yeah. So Jordan Poole over, Warriors money line.
Yep, same here for me. Total sitting at 232.5.
Yeah, I go over.
Yeah, I'm still on the over there. I don't really. I think Golden State's bench is just going to put up the numbers.
Yeah, and 11 of 19 road games for Utah have went over, so they pretty much are over team on the road.
All right, and for player props, I'm on Dante DiVincenzo. Whenever they drop his 3-point prop, I'm going to take that. He was 0 for 4 last night, 0 for 4 from 3. I think he was 0 for 4 from 3 as well. So I expect a bounce back night for him at home, where he's been playing really well recently. Like that's one of his more disappointing games as of late. He's had 19, 5, 17, 15, 16 in the 5 games before that. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead back to Dante DiVincenzo here.
I'm with you on that. I like Kuminga points and rebounds. He was playing really, really well last night. He was playing aggressive. He was attacking the rim. And that was a more this matchup is more favorable than last game's matchup. So I like Kuminga points and rebounds, Poole over points, and Golden State to win. Golden State might win by double digits.
All right.
And the over, sorry.
Yeah. Oh, Golden State double digit play would be that's the juice. That's got to be the juice. Mm-hmm. All right. Last game on the slate, we have the Denver Nuggets going to play the Sacramento Kings. Nuggets are laying 2.5 on the road. 236 is the total. Both of these teams did play last night, so this is a back-to-back game in terms of day and back-to-back in terms of opponent, where the Sacramento Kings lost that game 113-106. They were up for a good little majority of that game early on. Denver covered as a 3.5-point favorite. I was on the Kings in that matchup. Under came in, as I said, under 237. All right. I mean, it's a back-to-back with you're playing the same team. I'm not taking Denver. I'm going back to my handicap with the Kings, but I think what I will do this time, because this did occur late yesterday, was that their coach, Mike Brown, was announced out with COVID. And so the assistant head coach did step in for that game, and he came from that Denver Nuggets staff. So I was like, and when I saw that, I went and put another little bit extra on the Kings. So I'm like, yeah, I want that. I definitely approve of that. And they played well. They had the lead going into halftime, I believe, and it kind of all unraveled in that second half. And so if I'm on the Kings today, I think that I'm going to try it again, but I'll just stick to the first half and just kind of hope that he doesn't get outcoached again in the second half and avoid that whole mess up. So I'll back Kings again, first half Kings. But this is a spot where back-to-back, both of them playing the same teams, literally just saw each other, about to see each other again. I got to give it to see the Kings play this one. And maybe you do get Sabonis in this game. I just realized I didn't go over an injury report at all, so I'll get an injury report for you guys. But maybe you do see Sabonis play in this game after he didn't play in the first one. They said we're going to save you for the second one. So that could be a possibility. Or they could be just saying that, hey, that thumb is a little bit more of a problem than we initially thought it was, and he's going to have to sit out some games. So look out for Sabonis to see if he plays in this one. You'll see Jamal Murray. He may or may not play in this one. I think he's probably not going to play.
Yeah, just because of
trying to keep him injury managed. But Aaron Gordon, Bruce Brown, they're both on the injury report as TBD. So we'll see if they play in this one. But yeah, this just feels like a good spot for me to back the home team in the second game of a back-to-back, not to lose to the same team twice in a row. So give me the Sacramento Kings.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't have much on this game, but I do like Sacramento simply because I think Sabonis might end up playing. They might have just wanted to see how it was in like pregame, and maybe he just didn't feel right last night. But I think he'll be better today. Even if he doesn't go, I still like Sacramento. Something I do like more than the side is the total. I think they played under last night. But both teams are really efficient offensively, really bad defensively. That always is a good indicator for the over. and they're more comfortable with each other, being this is the second game of the back-to-back with them playing each other. So they're going to make some adjustments and be able to attack the defense a little bit more effectively than they were last night. And that's for both teams. So I think that's going to lead to a lot of possessions, a lot of points. Sacramento still is 19-12 ATS on the season. Top 10 in offensive rating. Both teams are top 10 in offensive rating, bottom 8 in defensive rating. So I like the over a lot more than I do the side, but I will be with you on Sacramento for sure. I would just play Sacramento money line in hopes that Sabonis does give it a go. That'll increase our chances of cashing that. But I do like the Kings tonight.
Well, the total's tough for me. I do normally like to zig and zag when you have these back-to-back sets, but that first game went way over, about 20 points over the total, and I mean under the total. So I don't think that I'm kind of interested in touching that total 20 points under, and it only came down 1 point. I think that the books are scared to drop it anymore because it all makes sense for this to go over. It should be an over game. So I don't think I want to come in on touch it. I don't want to do it that way. Let's play it like this. If Sabonis plays, I like the Kings team total over because I think that the Kings will be able to have a pretty good bounce back night, especially if Sabonis is in a lineup and just keep their offense flowing. Again, another distributor, another person that can score under the rim, especially against Jokic, who has there's nothing that scares you on the inside for the Nuggets at all. So if Sabonis plays, then I may like a team total over for the Kings. Actually, will say I do like a team total over for the Kings, especially with Bruce Brown looking like he's not going to play. You're probably not going to have Jamal Murray either. So that's going to kill the scoring for the Nuggets. Like the Nuggets could very well punt this game. And so if it goes under, I think it's because the Nuggets don't do their part. So I'll take an over on the Kings.
Yeah, that's all I got for this game. Just prop wise. If Murray's out, I like Bones Highland a lot. He's got a lot of confidence, so he's going to be able to get shots up. And they're likely to fall on the Sacramento defense. I like De'Aaron Fox over points, rebounds, and assists. Those are the only two things that I really love, simply because we don't know a whole lot. But my top play would be De'Aaron Fox over points, rebounds, and assists. I don't think a number is out on that just yet. Let me double check and make sure, because they were waiting on some things to come up. Let me see. Actually, De'Aaron Fox, 36.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Let me get that over.
All right. Like it. Let's go ahead and transition over into our lock and dog. Delonte, I will defer to you. What are you doing on tonight's slate?
Pretty simple, man. Milwaukee, 4.5 as the lock. When we ran down the stats, they dominate Chicago. They have been playing underwhelming basketball as of late. Perfect spot to get right against a team that that you've dominated. How to beat them and how to disrupt what they do well offensively and defensively. So I think big night for Giannis. Lock 4.5 Milwaukee over the Chicago Bulls. As far as the dog, I mean, we went over it. You hit on it pretty hard. I hit on it pretty hard. I think the chat was with us as well. Golden State money line. Golden State money line. Even play alternate. I would play Golden State laying 4. If you could find that, I would. I'm in love with Golden State right now. I love what they're doing, especially at home. Now, not on the road just yet. They got to prove it to me on the road. But at home, to the Utah Jazz, who doesn't do well as a favorite on the road, even worse. I think both of those line up with Golden State coming out, getting a really, really good win with their younger guys, giving them some confidence going forward. So, lock 4.5 Milwaukee Bucks, dog, Golden State Warriors money line +4.
All right. For me, I am going to go to.
They want you to make it a Bam and Rudy overs parlay.
Bam and Rudy overs parlay. Y'all can good luck with that. Yeah, I'm gonna fade that.
When you come back tomorrow, Bam over. he's gonna do it. He's gonna do it.
All right. Let me see here. How do I want to play this slate? I will go to the. Every time I lock up the Pelicans, it's never good luck for me. Am I going to go? Yeah, I think I'm going to do 2 dog plays. So for my lock, I'm going to go with Sacramento +1.
I like that.
Or matter of fact, no, I'm not scared. Let's go Sacramento money line. First half money line. That's about +100, +110. Depends where you can get it at. It's floating around somewhere in between there. I'll go ahead and do that for my lock. I think that coming off this back-to-back and potential of Sabonis playing, even if Sabonis doesn't play, you're still going to be missing guys from that Denver Nuggets squad. They started out early and pretty good in that game yesterday. Plus, they saw how they blew that game to them. I think they're going to come out with some force and some intensity. So give me Sacramento +110. I'll call it 110. +110. That is my lock in the first half. That is a first half play. Make sure you know that. That is a first half play +110. For my dog, I'm going with you. Golden State +145. I'm not back afraid of Utah. I'm really not afraid of Utah. So I'm gonna back Golden State here again. It's a good spot. Well, good spot for them in the terms of they're just getting these points at home. Like if I'm taking Golden State with plus money at home, I'm probably gonna take it 9 times out of 10. So give me the Golden State Warriors to get it done. Short-handed, but it's the Utah Jazz's favorite. So easy fade there. All right. Delonte, anything else for the people before we get out of here?
Hey man, my bonus best bet, Bam, over points, rebounds, and assists. It's not out yet. I'll tweet it out whenever it drops if he does play. But that's just gonna show how much confidence I got in my man Bam.
Nick, whenever you listen to this and you pull that clip, when Bam does not get his over points, rebounds, and assists, and he folds like he always does when he has a great matchup, I want you to use this flick of me right here and put the hat on it. Here you go. Just like that. Yep. All right. Oh, go to youtube.com/NBA Gambling Podcast if you didn't see what I was talking about. All right, everyone, make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube, subscribe to us wherever you listen to your podcast. Leave us a review, please, and thank you. Comment, all of that stuff. Spread the word, and we will see you again tomorrow. Other than that, I really don't have anything else to say. Anything else to do? Let's just get up out of here. We out.